Hey, this is Brandon Ballantyne,
And this is Don King.
and welcome to another episode of Mobile Talk.
And today we're talking about some items that you can use on your computer, on your mobile devices to keep them from interfering with your sleep patterns too much. We also have Josh, and gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the last name. Josh, what is it? Dean, Josh Dean with us, the new Brandon, the D2L guru at Pellissippi State Community College where we all work. So I think, guys, we were going to start out talking about F.Lux. Was that the plan?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear about it because I haven't actually used that, but I know a bunch of people that swear by it. So,
Okay. Well, and let's talk a little bit about why to do that. I've been hearing from students, and again, just as a reminder for you, our dear listener, I teach public speaking in my day job, and I hear a lot of things from students about various things that they're concerned about. I've had several speeches in the last few semesters where they're talking about biological research that indicates that the blue end of the spectrum, which is what our devices, these kind of things and computers and all that, it's a cooler light than what we're used to with either sunlight or incandescent bulbs, the old-fashioned kind of bulbs. So most of us, I think, have heard that the advice is to get off your screens an hour or two before going to bed. I mean, Josh and Brandon, you've been hearing that, have you not?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, how many of us do it? I mean, whether it's about the devices or whether it's the televisions, which
Yeah,
is
I'm pretty bad about that. I usually pick up my phone and kind of go through my RSS feed or watch a little bit of Netflix before bed. So I do the opposite of what they recommend.
yeah, exactly, and I think most people probably do. And but here the last year or two in particular, I've been hearing students reporting research that shows that it literally messes with your melatonin levels. And then some other scary stuff about melatonin levels that are out of whack can be a factor in cancer. So it just gets scarier and scarier. Maybe that's why iOS recently put out an update to where that kind of thing is automatically included in their stuff. So since I'm talking about iOS right now, let's just go ahead and take a look at that. I believe Josh has something there for Android as well. So just to kind of show you what we're talking about here, the easiest way to show this on Hangouts, I think, is for me to just pull the phone up. If you go to Settings, and let's see where that is. It's on the Display and Brightness link. And then down towards the bottom. Oh, actually, it's up towards the top where the entry says Night Shift. And you can see I've got mine already set up. But if you open it up, first off, you can turn it on. The default is for the schedule button to not be on. So let me see, what's the latest update that we're into on iOS? Brandon, do you remember?
9.3. I'm not sure what comes after that, though.
Okay, let's see if I can tell here for, where do I find that? Under General and Software Update. 9.3.1.
Okay.
So apparently it was part of that. So with display and brightness, night shift, you are able to change the hours.
Is there an observable change when you're looking at that? I haven't, if it's on Android, I haven't played with it myself.
Indeed, it is. On this one, a way to do it is to manually enable until tomorrow. So if you're setting this at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you would not normally see the shift. It's not between the 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. You can test it with that manual thing.
And you can also, you can swipe up from the bottom here. Let's see. Yeah. If you swipe up, there's a little icon now right here. It's a sun and a moon. And if you tap on that, you manually trigger night shift.
Well, look at that. I had not found that.
And that's different than like the night mode that they used to have?
Yeah, so what it does, it filters out blue by adding a bunch of yellow to the screen. So it's it gradually does it as the sun goes down. The intensity of the yellow gets brighter, or gets more intense. So you don't really notice it until, say, you've been playing on your phone for a couple of hours after it's done its night shift thing, and then you look at a regular screen like on your laptop if you're not running Flux. Then it looks blindingly blue and just way too much to deal with. So I've actually kind of enjoyed it. I didn't think I would, but.
And I wish I don't have my Android phone on me, but I know that in some of the accessibility options, I believe you can set kind of the warmth and coolness of the screen. Perhaps they have some sort of equivalent like this. I haven't kind of delved into that, or I haven't seen it kind of flagged on any of the new updates, but I do know that you in the past could adjust kind of the warmth or coolness of the screen overall.
Well, and Android is so good about, you know, being open source and all that. I'm almost certain there is an app out there that will do that. I used to have an Android phone, but it's been about 3 years, so I'm not sure what's out there on the marketplace right now. It would surprise me if there wasn't something like that, though.
Mm-hmm.
There may even be a version of Flux. And if I can go ahead and share my screen here, and folks, if you haven't seen this before, when I start sharing my screen, of course, the sharing the screen is going to show on this screen. It's going to get one of those infinity mirror kind of things going. Don't let that surprise you. But see if I can get it to where I can show you my Flux setup. It lives up here in the upper bar. You can set your preferences. And what you basically do is say, what time are you going to wake up? And it will backtrack everything from that. You have some settings that you can do as far as custom color, that sort of thing. There is, and I've lost my cursor. There's another thing that I find nice, which is on the disable entry. You can disable it for an hour. You can disable it until sunrise. I'm not in an app that will allow it right now, but if I'm in a particular app, I can set it to where it will not kick in when I'm in that app. That's a little disconcerting, honestly, because it will get into something that Brandon was talking about just a moment ago, where it gradually turns yellow, and then if you all of a sudden turn it off, it's blindingly blue.
Yep.
I've got PowerPoint set, for example, to where it will kick Flux out, and I'm saying it Flux simply because the name of the program is f.lux. So I'm not sure which way they would prefer it to be pronounced, but it's the reason I'm saying it that way. I want my PowerPoint to not be that, because I use PowerPoint for graphics a lot of times, and I want to get accurate color reproduction. But it is disconcerting when you turn on PowerPoint and all of a sudden there's just like blue. Wow.
A lot of photo editing apps and video apps, if you jump into one of those, even on like the iPad, if it's in night shift, it'll disappear, and you see the blue again sometimes. So.
Well, we'd love to hear from listeners about what your experience is with it. Did you even know that it was out there on your iOS? Did you know of some app that will do this for Android users? You can reach us, and I'm going to go ahead and do the wrap up here, Brandon. We noted, again, those of you who are listening to us, we've noticed the last couple of these that we've done that we're talking longer than what we used to when it was just audio. I don't know if it's because we can see each other or what, but and if you're just listening on audio, you might wonder what the big deal is. But regardless, we do have our YouTube channel now. We're figuring out what the link is. We'll let you know what that is in the program notes. Go to our blog to find out what's going on. It's at blogs.pstcc.edu/mobilefellows. You can drop an email to me, dking, that's D-K-I-N-G, at pstcc.edu, or follow us on Twitter at ps_mogs. Hope you enjoy Mobile Talk. Let us know what it's doing for you, and we will see you next week.